Hello EFD squad and welcome back to Scout Report. The new season is upon us, so let's take a look at 5 youngsters who could take the world by storm in 2017-18. 5. Paddy Roberts. First we have the man I would do anything for, and I literally mean anything, Patrick. Just let me know. In 2016-17, Patrick Roberts was a breakout star for Celtic while on loan from Manchester City, and wherever he ends up next season, we can expect him to impress even more. Roberts only turned 20 in February, and in 2016-17, the Englishman made 32 appearances in the SPFL, scoring 9 goals and nabbing 14 assists from the right wing as the boys won the league unbeaten. Roberts was equally impressive in the Champions League too, where he came up against parent club City and the likes of Barcelona. Despite the world-class opposition, the winger still created 1.9 chances per 90 for his teammates. That's more than Isco and Bale managed in the competition. This had much to do with Roberts' precision. He completed 84% of his passes, while he was able to get into good positions to make them, with 3.1 completed take-ons per 90. However, his take-on success in the tournament was pretty low at 42%, and this will need to improve if he wants to make the step up to a top European league. Rated at €8 million and wanted back at Celtic as well as at Nice, we should be seeing Patrick Roberts playing in the Champions League again in 2017-18, and it will no doubt be an absolute pleasure. 4. Dayot Upamecano. Identifying world-class centre-backs when they're young is often a tricky task, as they usually take until their mid-20s before maturing properly. Nevertheless, 18-year-old RB Leipzig defender Dayot Upamecano is someone you should definitely keep an eye on in 2017-18. Despite his young age, Upamecano already has a wealth of experience most teenagers could only dream of, with 45 senior appearances since making his debut for the Austrian side Liefering, aged 16. After moving from Salzburg to Leipzig in January 2017, the French centre-half has played less than 700 minutes for D Bullen, but in that time has racked up an impressive 5.8 tackles and interceptions per 90, significantly more than the likes of Mats Hummels and Virgil van Dijk. Standing at 6'1", Upamecano is also a beast in the air, winning an impressive 4.7 aerial duels a match, the same as Virgil van Dijk, who has 3 inches on the young Frenchman. And no, not in that way, you dirty dogs. One area where the Leipzig youngster can certainly improve is his discipline. Upamecano gives away 1.9 fouls per 90, which doesn't look great when compared to Bayern Munich new boy Niklas Süle's 0.5, and he also completes just 79% of his passes. However, we can see both these stats improving dramatically as he gains more top-level experience. Valued at €7.5 million by Transfermarkt, RB Leipzig paid over the odds to bring Upamecano to the Bundesliga, and with the club looking to further rival Bayern domestically and push on the Champions League front, it won't be long until we see him show his true worth. 3. Alain Saint-Maximin. Monaco were undoubtedly the surprise package of European football in 2016-17, but while their band of young guns were taking Ligue 1 and the Champions League by storm, another one of their prospects was on loan at Bastia in a relegation scrap. Alain Saint-Maximin only turned 20 in March, but has played in Ligue 1 since 2013, and last season racked up nearly 2,700 minutes in the league. Although Bastia scored just 29 on their way to the drop, the winger bagged 3 of them and got the same amount of assists. Saint-Maximin was the shining light in a sinking ship in 2016-17, beating his man 4.6 times per 90. That's the same as Ousmane Dembele. Even more impressive though is his take-on success rate, which stands at a staggering 71%. That's better than Dembele's and Lucas Moura's. Although his production lags for a winger, with just 1.7 chances created per 90, Saint-Maximin completes 78% of his passes. That's impressive for someone playing in high-risk areas with a lack of quality around him. But this will all be changing in 2017-18, as Nice have snapped up the youngster for €10 million, and it could prove to be an absolute snip. Watching the pacey winger players trade at the right end of Ligue 1 and in Europe could be very entertaining indeed. 2. Franck Kessie. Another player to receive a big move this summer is Franck Kessie. After impressing in his first Serie A season, the Ivorian midfielder is one of the standout names in AC Milan's transfer spree. Let's have a look at what he can bring to the Rossoneri. At just 20 years old, Kessie was the heartbeat of an Atalanta side which finished in 4th place in 2016-17. That's 9 points ahead of his new club, and he racked up 6 goals and 3 assists in the process. This is even more impressive given he was playing as a centre-back before last season. 6 foot tall, muscular and strong on his left and right, Kessie has all the makings of a world-class box-to-box midfielder. He pulls off 2.4 tackles and interceptions a game, which isn't too far off Raja Nainggolan and Paul Pogba, who both achieve 2.8. Meanwhile, he maintains a very decent 84% pass accuracy, comparable with any of Europe's top players in his role. Kessie also completes 1.7 take-ons per 90, while his 68% success rate actually betters Pogba's. However, when we compare that to Inter's Kondogbia, who somehow completes 3 with a success rate of 88%, it's clear to see there's a little room for improvement. The Milan midfielder also needs to work on his discipline too, as he gave away 2.2 fouls a game in 2016-17. But with the super composed Leonardo Bonucci behind him, we can expect to see this figure reduce at the San Siro. The Rossoneri have signed the Ivorian on a 2-year loan, with an option to secure his services for €20 million at the end of this period. By that time, he'll surely be worth that and the rest. 1. Gabriel Jesus. Premier League fans will already be familiar with the brilliance of Gabriel Jesus, but in 2017-18, we could see him smash it on the European stage too. After signing for Manchester City in January 2017, it quickly became clear the Brazilian was preferred by Guardiola to Sergio Aguero, and he's already repaid his manager's trust. In his first half season at the Etihad, Jesus scored 7 goals and nabbed 4 assists in just 664 league minutes. That means he was involved in 1.5 goals per 90, which is quite frankly ridiculous, and actually trumps the likes of Aguero, Lukaku and Harry Kane. Although these numbers will be near impossible to sustain, they're actually on a par with Messi at the moment, for crying out loud. Jesus does bring an all-round excellence to City's forward line. His 1.1 tackles and interceptions per 90 is impressive for an attacker and is perfect for Guardiola's high-intensity approach, while his 81% pass accuracy also stands out for a man in his position. He also creates 1.4 chances per 90 for his teammates, not too far off that of Raheem Sterling on 1.6 and Leroy Sané on 1.8, and we could see this attacking trident blossom further in 2017-18. Jesus is valued at 32 million by Transfermarkt, but in the post-Neymar market, we reckon he could be worth at least triple that. Who knows how valuable he'll be by the end of the season. So guys, they were our 5 Wonderkids who we think are going to bang this season. But who are yours? Let us know in the comments below, and we might even make a part 2. And if you enjoyed this, then check out Stat Wars The Champions, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Sayonara.